Guys, it's time to really take AI seriously this year. We're really reaching a very critical point in AI development where not only is it getting smarter, but it will exponentially get smarter, and it's time for us as humans to upgrade ourselves to work with AI. And look, we talked about AI before, but there were a few things that I really want to kind of correct about our thinking about AI and how even people just who barely touch AI or just tried a little bit of AI has a lot of misconceptions, and I really want to correct that and change that in this video. And hopefully by the end of the video, I'll convince you that it's absolutely urgent, top priority for you to learn AI right now. And just to give you an example of why I'm so excited or not, I'm pushing myself, it's like today, it's a Sunday. It's the last thing I want to do is to go into work and work on stuff, but I'm here. And the reason why is because we're reaching this point where I feel like if we get left behind, we will be completely obsolete as humans. Now, first, I just want to show you a very quick article that I used to believe in, right? So I actually watched this video around a year ago saying how AI, they reach a point where it can't improve itself, right? And I kind of like looked at the evidence. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's true. You know, every model that we tried and there's a lot of times you ask it to do a simple thing. Like say, for example, I'm going to take a car to a car wash. And the car wash is 50 meters away. Should I walk or should I take my car? Well, obviously as humans, we would say, take the car. It's obvious, duh. But a lot of AI was just failing in that. They're like, oh, walk. It's economically more efficient. It's fast. Don't worry, just chill, just walk there. But, how do you wash the car, right, dumbass? So at first I thought AI was stupid like that, right? I was using outdated versions of AI. They just wasn't good. But recently there's been the sounding of the alarm, right? And this was a very, very good article that went very, very viral, 81 million views. Something big is happening. And Mark Schumer is kind of equating this year, right? Early this year, the new models that are coming out and what's kind of being developed to be the COVID moment, right? That's kind of an insane analogy, like a life-changing, life-transforming event that's happening right now. So, is this true? I absolutely think so. And I just want to correct a few things and just the logic and the way that I'm thinking. And hopefully by the end of the video, you'll be on track and you'll understand why I'm pushing myself really hard to learn AI and learn a few key things like agent swarms, like programming a little bit, but all of these things to make my personal life not only easier, but to expand what I do. So first and foremost, I think there's one thing that he points out that's very, very important, which is that the AIs that a lot of people that you use, and I experienced this firsthand yesterday where I talked to a few friends and they're like, oh yeah, we use AI, we use Perplexity. I'm like, huh? Who uses that? Perplexity? Huh? You use that as your main AI? What are you smoking? Or like they're using, outdated models of ChatGPT. Honestly, the current models, the paid models more specifically, are extremely powerful. And just to give an example of what we're trying, I'm not trying to flex here, but this is just on a small account for my team, and we're using and burning through say $20 per day on our Opus 6, 4.6 rather. We're using the highest models. We're trying to figure out how strong they are, and they're extremely strong. They can single-handedly one-line code a presentation for me. They can one single line create an app, a mini game to play. It's starting to become very, very powerful. On top of that, if you guys haven't tried it already, we have OpenClaw. So OpenClaw have a Stark agent here, and he can do almost anything that I want him to do. Like, say for example, I want to do some research on Minimax, right? Let's say I want you to research how actually good Minimax is and make a presentation for me. 2.5, right? So I can just type this to my agent, and then he can build a presentation and build it to my spec. And previously I talked to him about my spec, and let's see if this runs, but this is what this current level of AI can do. But more importantly speaking, I think one thing that we really need to understand as well is not just this current level. People at Anthropic, people at OpenAI, they've already have access to the next model that they haven't even released yet. So think about what this can do in not just like 6 months, but like a year, 2 years, and it actually becomes very, very scary. And I just want to add a little bit from my side as well. So I run my own business, I have my teams. And what's kind of scary was when we first looked at AI, we thought it was useless. All right, that's just a confession I have to make. GPT-2 was the first one that we looked at, right? And we were like, oh yeah, we write some articles. We have a boxmining.com website. Can we use this? Absolutely no. All right, it just produced AI slop all over the place. But if you swap that to Opus 4.6 now, holy shit, the amount of work it can do is quite scary. And it's just a giant leap. And what I'm scared about is really what's going to happen next. Now, the scariest part, I honestly think, is the current developments of what's happening. And that's, I think, more or less with AI swarms. So AI swarm, this is really an idea that's, I think, it really came into the public spotlight with Kimi 2.5, where instead of just deploying one AI to do something, you deploy a swarm of AI, right? Meet the agent swarm, right? Kimi, let me see if there's a Kimi commercial for this, where they can talk and deploy not just a single agent, but you can deploy a massive search, a bunch of tasks that you can do. So maybe research what's happening with Midnight Network crypto, and then launch that. Okay, you can use users run. So it uses more credits than normal, but this idea of an agent swarm really started becoming popular this year. And then not only is Kimi doing that, but people have been experimenting deploying agent swarms in something like Claude Code. So it's already this idea is starting to work and become quite popular. But what's scary about this idea is that previously we just thought, oh, AI can do a simple task for us, write an article. But with the agent swarm, say even in the article case about box mining, let's say, for example, box mining, we have a lot of outdated articles, we need to revamp a lot of things, but if I deployed an agent swarm and say, hey, look, this entire swarm, right, learn my writing style, take a look at our outdated articles, update all of them, right, all 800 articles, and then it will do that. And then we can even deploy other agents to say, hey, look, we need to QC the articles and make sure they're factually correct. And yet again, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, this wasn't really feasible. But yes, now it is, where an agent can check another agent's work. And maybe they have a priority of personality there that makes them extremely good at fact checking. And they have access to both Twitter, modern websites. They can browse everything and make sure they don't come up with things like, oh, CZ died in 2022 or right, something like that, right? Which is, kind of the previous critical flaws with AI. So at the speed at which this is advancing, this is going to make our work a lot easier. But then if you apply that to where AI development is going, that's going to be even scarier. Because AI, if you look at how Anthropic is working, Anthropic is really small, compact team, less than 100 employees, but their team is all using Claude Code to make the next iteration of Claude Code even better. So this is where I feel like we got a lot of factually incorrect material from back in the day, where we thought, oh yes, AI is going to be a limit. Humans are still going to be important. AI is going to grow exponentially faster, right? This is the scary part. So instead of slowing down, AI development is really just speeding up. And if you look at it, last week was a very good example of this, where we have a bunch of Chinese models being released, Kimi 2.5, Minimax 2.5, I don't know why they call it the same thing, but Opus 4.6, they're all coming at a very fast pace, and they're getting smarter faster rather than reaching a critical point. So strong point, take-home message, use the paid models, see how smart they are, and then use your brain to think, okay, where is that going to go in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year from now? It's going to get cheaper, it's getting smarter, and with the swarm, they can do a lot more tasks that took humans months maybe in a matter of just a few hours. And that, I think, really scares me. The other thing that I want to say here is, we have OpenClaw. We have a second channel, if you guys haven't being aware of that, but we have a second channel where we're getting you guys on the bandwagon, right? We talked about this during our last stream. But this channel is growing really fast, so thank you guys for all tuning in. And it's very clear that everyone's trying to learn this to upgrade their lives. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna update more articles on more videos on this more often, and show you guys step by step how to get things deployed and get it done for cheap. All right, I recognize that not everyone has thousands of dollars to burn trying new AI models, but what we can do is to burn those thousands of dollars and then share with you guys the results. All right, so that's what we're doing on the Boxmining AI channel. We just started this week. Make sure to tune in. Make sure you subscribe to that. So now what's next, and what are some thoughts? So my thought, I think that's quite interesting, is I read recently that Nikita Beer, head of X product, said that his core product team really only has around 30 engineers. So this is very, very slimmed down in terms of engineering, right? You think like X is a really huge platform, but 30 core engineers? Wow. That is really forward thinking, and that's quite scary if you think about it, because, where are people going to go? So I do think that like Elon Musk, him being him, him being the radical him, he really takes the aggressive approach. But what I do have to say here is that it's correct to build for the future, right? This is some a hiring criteria that we have now, like or a thought criteria we have now. Like we look at our employees and we say, hey, do they scale up with AI? So every new model that comes out, do their tools work better? Do their task flow is improve, or do they scale down, right? Can some of their stuff be replaced by AI and now they're less and less relevant? That's a scary thought, but that's something that I constantly think about. And I kind of constantly push anyone that is willing to modernize their flow, even if it doesn't work at this current point, right? Because at some point it will. Right? We don't know if that's, in 6 months, 10 months. Already a lot of flows work very, very well with AI, but it will be even better. And these thoughts of like people hiring for like, because back, as a business owner, I talked to a lot of top companies, and they used to hire and train smart people. Right? So say, for example, they've identified someone who thinks really brilliantly in terms of product, and then they send them to a course, maybe an EMBA, maybe a course on project management that will take 6 to 12 months to complete, but they come back and be even better. Now, the scary part is I'm kind of thinking, okay, can AI do that, right? AI can be really a great project manager. In fact, what I'm trying to do now, and I'm trying to experiment with, is to have AI really work with my entire team, right, to see what they are doing, putting that all on a dashboard for me. So it makes my life a lot easier to plan, but also makes their life easier to report and to keep themselves on track. So yes, this integration of human plus AI, I think, works, and having humans that scale up with AI works. Okay, now I hope I convinced you, and I hope I convinced you to jump on the bandwagon of becoming human plus AI. It isn't just about just a few simple, like let's make some money now. It's really about your entire career path, your entire life path. If you can find something that is very unique to you, maybe a path flow, maybe you want something that you do that's you find pain in, but if you can find AI that can solve that problem, you can definitely sell that. And on the same time, you can definitely be in the forefront of that. So in the future, you are at a very valuable position relative to where you are at now. So yeah, jumping in now makes a lot of sense. The last thing I want to say is like some videos like this make me angry, just like on this, like the AI bubble is finally bursting. This guy makes a point where user retention on say something like Sora 2 really dropped. And we get a lot of misinformation like that, where we think, oh no one's using AI for video work. Well, that's because it's very limited in scope. This guy's talking about OpenAI and their Sora 2 model for videos. But right now, the Chinese models are outperforming them by literally 100x. If you guys are on X and you looked at what not Sora is doing, but rather what the Chinese models are doing, oh my god, it's just night and day difference. So I just want to say that's one last thing that you don't want to watch. Like just a lot of trash on YouTube talking about AI slop, and everyone, it's comforting to think that AI is just producing slop. But at the end of the day, in terms of the development, in terms of the flow, agent swarms, pathline, it's scary. So last thing I want to just address this on the crypto side as well. So everyone's talking about AI and crypto, and we're in a bad position, I would say, in crypto, personally, because everyone wants money fast, but there's not a real good AI project out here on the top 100. And what were AI projects, I would say, also are losing steam because of how fast the frontier models are growing. So it's just a matter of cost, where crypto projects, a lot of times they get millions of dollars to come up with something brilliant or new. But the issue is that OpenAI, it has billions of dollars and they're still losing the race, right? That's kind of scary. So yeah, we're at a point where the intersection is becoming interesting. Like, I think the only interesting thing is maybe like AI agents paying each other with crypto and becoming native in terms of crypto payment. But I would say for sure, definitely watch crypto, but also watch AI and in its kind of frontier phase, and make some judgments based on that. I think that's the smartest thing that one can do. Not financial advice, but yeah, one can do right now. So I know this is a long rant about AI. I just want to do an unfiltered video about it. I hope you guys catch on the bandwagon with me. I'm going to do a lot of videos in quick succession to get you guys up to speed, get our whole community up to speed on this. I feel like this is my top priority right now. I hope that is for you as well. With that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you next time. It's always hard to stop streaming, but yeah, there we go.